Hi, I'm Cameron Stolz, and I'm asking for your vote for Prince George City Council on October 20th. I'm here today to give you a quick 5-minute summary, or less, of what happened at the All Candidates Forum tonight at the Courtyard Marriott, put on by the ICBA, the Northern Regional Construction Association, and the Northern BC Home Builders Association. Hi, I'm Cameron Stolz, and I'm asking for your vote for Prince George City Council on October 20th. Tonight's All Candidates Forum was hosted by the Construction Association of Northern BC, the ICBA, and the Northern BC Home Builders Association. The topics were varied. The number one issue that came up over and over again, though, was infrastructure. There was some very specific questions asking about the state of our current infrastructure and what was being done by it. It's understandable that new candidates do not have the depth of knowledge that experienced elected officials have, because they've been on the inside for the last number of years or number of terms. So I was disappointed that some of them chose not to actually answer the questions. They weren't being concise in their answers, weren't being direct to the point. One of the challenges was talking about our infrastructure under the ground. Well, in fact, the infrastructure under the ground is probably the best condition for all the infrastructure we own. Our water and sewer lines are actually fully funded, sustainably funded, and those are the best you could ask for. When you look at our stormwater, that isn't actually a utility. That's actually funded out of general revenue, and there is no dedicated funding for it. And that's one of the challenges we're seeing with the sinkhole on Kearney and Massey, is that there is no sustainable funding for our storm sewers, which means that the repairs aren't being done when they should be. There's a huge amount of work that needs to be done, and there's not enough money to be able to do it. The next piece that was discussed was talking about our rest of our foundational infrastructure, roads and sidewalks. It was interesting listening to people talk about how much money has been put into roads over the last 4 years. But none of them addressed the fact that the current council has actually cut the road budget by $2 million, from $7 million to $5 million. The other thing they talk about is investing in sidewalks, that's a priority. So like the previous council, this current council, has invested one-time funds in sidewalks. Unfortunately, while doing that, unlike the last council, this council has actually cut the sidewalk budget by 5%. The annual budget for sidewalks has been cut by 5%, and none of them are talking about that, but they talk about how much money they put into sidewalks. The last piece I'd like to just throw out there is talking about the need for revitalization. So if we're talking about construction, the area that needs the most revitalization that was brought up in one of the questions, someone brought up that the area that most needs revitalization right now is the light industrial area east of Queensway. That area needs some work, needs to have something done to it, and they were looking for input and feedback from the candidates as to what that looked like. The piece that was missed is that the city of Prince George is the single largest property owner of land east of Queensway in the light industrial area there. We own over 3.5 blocks of that area, and it's the home to our old city works yard. Now there's an opportunity for the city to do a significant new project, whether that's moving the pool there, or as we look to replace the rolling mixed concrete Coliseum, we could look at putting it there and then developing a beautiful connection from our downtown to our riverfront. The city owns land that's connected from one all the way to the other. There's no reason why we shouldn't be looking at that for revitalizing and developing that area east of Queensway. So that's a direct answer to that question. I'd like to finish with one piece. I really try to do my research. I try to find my answers so I can back up what I'm saying, and I try to give those answers when I'm asked a direct question. And I have to apologize tonight to one of the audience members who asked me a very direct question about the STEP program. It's an energy efficiency program that they're looking at for new house construction. I gave him an answer, and then I did like so many other candidates and deflected on that one to some other point I wanted to get across. I realized my mistake, and in my closing comments, instead of actually giving my normal closing comment, I actually spent that time answering his question in more detail. I thought it was only fair that he got an answer, a direct answer, a concise answer to what he was asking. And that's the way I'll treat every one of the questions that you ask me. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know it, or I'll do and then I'll do the research on it. I appreciate your time listening to me. I'm Cameron Stolz, and I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me tonight. And if you have a question that you would like a direct answer to, I would be happy to answer that. Please feel free to comment below. Send me an email, cameron@greatwhite.ca, or just come by and ask me a question. Give me a call. I'd be happy to have a discussion with you. Thank you very much for your time.